Welcome to this explainer. Today we're looking up, way up. We're going to explore a very specific, absolutely beautiful, and honestly often misunderstood part of our night sky. We are talking about the waxing gibbous moon. Now, we'll definitely be breaking down the exact mechanics of what's going on up there, but we're not stopping at just the science. We're also going to dive into the deep human connection to this specific lunar phase. It's this fantastic journey of light, shadow, and time, so let's just get right into it. So, tell me, have you ever looked up at the night sky and noticed the moon looking, well, kind of hunched over? You know what I mean, right? It's not quite a perfect circle yet, but it's definitely way past that neat half-moon slice. It has this bulging, slightly asymmetrical look to it. That distinct, almost heavy shape is the signature of the waxing gibbous moon. And actually, that specific shape has fascinated skywatchers for literally centuries. So how exactly do we define this phase? Section 1. What is waxing gibbous? Foundational science. Okay, so the word gibbous itself actually comes from a Latin word meaning humped or hunched. I mean, think about it. When you look at this moon phase, it quite literally looks like it has terrible posture. It's got this increasingly rounded appearance on one side, just pushing out like a hump. It's honestly a perfect description for a celestial body that is bursting at the seams with light, but hasn't quite reached perfect symmetry yet. It makes the science so much more memorable when you realize ancient astronomers looked up and essentially thought, wow, the moon is really slouching tonight. And this perfectly illustrates exactly what's happening with the light. The gibbous phase kicks off right after the first quarter moon. Now, during the first quarter, exactly half the visible lunar disk is illuminated. But the moment we cross that 50% threshold, boom, we enter gibbous territory. This phase covers an illumination range from 51% all the way up to 99%. And it's that tiny little 1% unilluminated slice that gives the moon that slightly imperfect, flattened edge right before it reaches totality. It is almost full, but not quite. So the crucial point here is the first half of our term, waxing. In astronomy, waxing simply means growing. Every single night during this phase, if you go outside and look up, you'll see that the illuminated portion continues to grow. It is actively waxing. And you know, this isn't just a one-night event. The waxing gibbous phase actually lasts for about a week. For 7 straight days, the light marches steadily across the face of the moon, eating away at the darkness, growing larger and larger until it finally peaks at the full moon. It's like this slow, beautiful crescendo of light. Section 2. Timing the night sky and when to observe. All right, let's dive into this daily timeline. If you want to be a backyard astronomer this week, this is your active field guide. The waxing gibbous moon follows a very specific schedule. First, it actually rises in the afternoon. Have you ever noticed that surreal pale moon just hanging there in the blue daylight sky? That is very often a waxing gibbous. By the time sunset rolls around and the sun dips below the horizon, the moon is already prominent and high in the eastern sky. Finally, it sets after midnight. This timeline is fantastic because you don't have to stay up until 3 a.m. to get a really good look at it. It's right there, high and bright during the most accessible evening hours. Now, comparing this to other phases really builds our understanding of what we're actually looking at through a telescope or binoculars. During the quarter phases, the sunlight hits the moon at a really sharp angle from our perspective on Earth, which creates incredibly dramatic, deep shadowing along the craters. But during the gibbous phase, the angle of the light is changing. Because the moon is mostly illuminated now, that dramatic shadowing is greatly reduced. The light is hitting it much more directly. So while you might lose some of that stark 3D contrast, the trade-off is incredible. Many of the moon's massive, prominent features become widely and clearly visible. You're basically seeing the lunar surface totally flooded with sunlight. So what are the key takeaways for your evening observation? Well, the waxing gibbous is visible for most of the night, offering excellent, prolonged opportunities to check it out. The prominent lunar features are bathed in light and clearly visible. And honestly, best of all, you don't just get one chance to see it. If it's cloudy on Tuesday, no problem at all. This phase lasts for about a week. Consider this your direct invitation to step outside tonight, look up, and track this week-long celestial event yourself. Watch it grow. Watch it wax. Section 3. Symbolism of the Moon, a Human Connection. I absolutely love this quote from the source material. The Waxing Gibbous phase represents continued growth and approaching completion in the lunar cycle. You know, for thousands of years, long before we had telescopes or modern astronomy, humans looked up at the sky to make sense of their own lives. Various cultural and spiritual traditions throughout human history have incorporated the symbolism of this specific phase. Because it isn't just about rocks and reflected sunlight, it's a metaphor. The Waxing Gibbous is the phase of momentum. It's the final push. It represents the energy of things almost realized, of projects almost finished, and of growth steadily marching toward its absolute peak. Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. Looking at that bright, hunched, 99% illuminated moon in the sky isn't just an astronomy lesson. It's a reflection. So, where are you in your own phase of growth and approaching completion? What in your life is waxing right now, building momentum, just waiting for that final push to become full? The next time you see that bright, asymmetrical moon hanging high in the evening sky, I hope you remember the science behind its light, and I really hope it reminds you of your own continued growth. Keep looking up, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next explainer.